Hey, what's up, guys? Decided to do a video on how to tell on ISWA, mainly the solar wind velocity tool, how you can tell the wind speeds there, whether they're coming from inside the bow shock or outside the bow shock. Bow shock, I mean this. And the wind speeds are displayed here in kilometers per second. Alright, now we're going to start off here over at the SWPC on the Discover satellite that's out near the, I think it's the L1 Lagrange point near ACE. I know ACE is there, maybe Discover somewhere else close by, but anyways, I just want to point out here, this satellite, Discover, is not inside our magnetosphere. It's not near Earth. Okay, so this is directly reading solar wind coming from the sun going towards Earth. The purple line is your wind speed, kilometers per second. Here's your scale. This is set up for 3 days. Mainly, we're starting out at 350 kilometers per second. That's fairly normal speeds. And then we get it picks up because that coronal hole that everyone's talking about hits us, that wind stream. But you can still see the highest point basically is here. When you go across the scale, you know, it's not getting above 700. 643, you know, 600s. Right there's the number. 500s to 600s. Okay? ISWA is mainly saying the same thing. But all of a sudden you'll be looking at it, no energy coming in over here on the sun side. You know, no red lines coming in, as you can see on this model the whole time. But watch coming up that number. Bam, 1659 right there. That was the top. Uh, 2303. Right there, 1659. Now, these tools, the information comes from the satellites here. See the symbol? You go up top, that is GOES 14. GOES 13, and they have it on the moon on there, but it never actually shows, which is right about here where its orbit is. These satellites are going around this way because we're looking down at the North Pole on this model. So satellites are going around, so they are detecting wind speeds inside the bow shock. Sun side, Earth's side. Sun from Discover, the wind speed that ACE and Discover measure are coming from the sun side outside the bow shock. So how are we getting 1659 kilometers per second, which is 3.7 million miles per hour? I looked it up, of course. See right here, a little converter chart. It's easy, Google has that stuff. But right there, obviously that number is not coming from the sun because these satellites are inside. So it's a burst of wind speed coming from inside the bow shock, and you can see where this burst of energy goes out right there. And I'm at the same frame on the magnetosphere model. Right here is where it originates from, and then it's gonna go out. pushes out the back. Same thing over here. But this is what caused that bump in speed, the wind speed. There's a little trick. If you click on the cursor and you use your arrow keys, you can move the frame without having to deal with the mouse trying to hit these little teeny tiny buttons over here. Trying to hit those is not fun sometimes. So keyboard, and you can go back and forth. I'm going back in time, now forward in time. So that's just a little tip if you want to get detailed and look at a frame at a time. There you can see right here, this is before we got normal wind speeds based on the conditions from the coronal hole, and then all of a sudden, boom, it jumps up. And just all you gotta do is follow the arrows on out, and the magnetic tool shows it too. Right on out the back. Nothing came in the front. That came from Mother Earth. So, figured I'd put out, hopefully put a couple more videos out on reading ISWA, because there's really nothing out there. I did actually email Richard Mullinex about getting more information, and he passed me off to somebody else, but it seems like they might send me some information, so we'll see. Another tip I've discussed to help you look it over, just grab the cursor of the slider and go back and forth instead of waiting for its speed. It helps you look at things you can catch. That's helps you catch the data gaps, but so far in the last 24 hours or so, there have been no gaps, thank God. Finally, got tired of losing 8 to 12 hours a day on this tool. But things seem to calm down now, or at least on the data end, even though things are getting pretty crazy out here in space. So, alright guys, that's my little video on how to tell the solar wind speed outside the Bow-Shock Magnetis pause and inside. How to tell this number where it's coming from. Alright, see ya.